remarks by the rest of us. Today, testing confirmed that a patient here in New York City had tested positive for Ebola. The patient is now here in Bellevue Hospital. We want to state at the outset there is no reason for New Yorkers to be alarmed. Ebola is an extremely hard disease to contract. It is transmitted only through contact with an infected person's blood or other bodily fluids, not through casual contact. New Yorkers who have not been exposed to an infected person's bodily fluids are not at all at risk. And we want to emphasize that New York City has the world's strongest public health system, the world's leading medical experts, and the world's most advanced medical equipment. We've been preparing for months for the threat posed by Ebola. We have clear and strong protocols which are being scrupulously followed and were followed in this instance. And Bellevue Hospital is specially designed for isolation, identification, and treatment of Ebola patients. Every hospital in the city is prepared in the event that other patients come forward. The patient in question is a doctor who has worked with Ebola patients in West Africa. And when his symptoms emerged, he was taken to Bellevue by specially trained emergency medical service workers who followed all transport protocols. The patient is now in isolation. The health department has a team of disease detectives who have been at work tracing all of the patient's contacts, and we are prepared to quarantine contacts as necessary. There have been reports about the patient's movements. Again, these medical detectives are at work putting together the pieces of the timeline. But we emphasize again, Ebola is very difficult to contract. Being on the same subway car or living near a person with Ebola does not in itself put someone at risk. We are working very closely with our state and federal partners to ensure that we protect the health of all New Yorkers. People should rest assured that the extraordinary medical professionals of this city and this state are working to ensure that every protection is in place. A moment of commentary in Spanish before I turn to Governor Cuomo. Hoy, el Hospital Bellevue admitió un paciente que dio positivo por Ebola. No hay motivo de alarma. Las posibilidades de que el neoyorquino promedio contraiga Ebola siguen siendo muy pequeñas. La ciudad se ha estado preparando para el Ebola durante meses y tenemos un sistema bien diseñado por diagnosticar, aislar y tratar a este paciente. With that, I want to welcome comments by Governor Cuomo, who has remained in close communication with us here in the city over the last weeks. His team has been extraordinary in their preparation, their coordination with us. Welcome, Governor Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. As the Mayor said, the past few weeks we've been preparing for just this circumstance. We were hoping that it didn't happen, but we were also realistic. This is New York. People come through New York. They come through New York's airports. So we can't say that this is an unexpected circumstance. We have had a full coordinated effort that has been working literally night and day, coordinating city, state, and federal resources, coordinating and drilling from airports to transportations to subway stations to ambulances to hospitals. So we are as ready as one could be for this circumstance. What happened in Dallas was actually the exact opposite. Dallas, unfortunately, was caught before they could really prepare, before they really knew what they were dealing with in Dallas. And we had the advantage of learning from the Dallas experience. Just the other day, they've been long days, but I believe it was yesterday, we had 5,000 healthcare workers in the Javits Center who were being drilled on just this situation. We also had a fortunate circumstance here that the affected person was a doctor. a doctor who worked on Doctors Without Borders. So he was familiar with the possibility and the symptoms, etc., and he handled himself accordingly. Our best information is that for the relevant period of time, he was only exposed to a very few people, partially because he knew exactly what the illness was all about and he was taking precautions on his own. As the mayor mentioned, I know the word Ebola right now can spread fear just by the sound of the word. Ebola is not an airborne illness. It is contracted when a person is extremely ill and symptomatic, and is basically contracted through the bodily fluids. Having had the time to prepare as we did, we have been fully coordinated all day long. I spoke with our new Ebola czar, who President Obama appointed, Ron Klain. They were immediate in sending CDC teams. Sylvia Burwell from the Federal Homeland Security Office have been fully coordinated. They've reviewed everything that we've been doing. We've been doing it with their advice. And we are, after having spoken with everyone, doing everything that we need to be doing. I know it's a frightening situation. I know when you watched it on the news and it was about Dallas, it was frightening. That it's here in New York, it's more frightening. New York is a dense place, a lot of people on top of each other. But the more facts you know, the less frightening the situation is. We've already acted very, very quickly and identified about 4 of the people who we believe there are 4 people who he came in contact with during the relevant period, and we are already in contact with all 4 people. So we feel good about the way we are handling the situation. Obviously, we wish the best for the doctor, and we hope for a recovery for the doctor. But from a public health point of view, I feel confident that we're doing everything that we should be doing, and we have the situation under control. And I want to applaud the mayor and the mayor's team. I'd also like, as a personal point of privilege, thank my team for the good work. This has been weeks and weeks of preparation and getting a lot of agencies to work together. But the proof is in the pudding, and today it worked well. So congratulations to them.
Thank you very much, Governor. Now,